You know, in Nigeria, there's Dangote and everybody else. Yeah, that's what we all thought too. Until this one quiet billionaire decided he wasn't going to play second fiddle to nobody. Meet Abdul Samad Rabiu, the man who built an empire just as big, just as powerful, and managed to do it all without even making noise. But you see, what makes this story wild isn't the billions, but it's how he built in the shadows of Dangote and then possibly started overtaking him factory by factory, deal by deal. And you know the crazy part? The battle between these both men shaped everything. From how your cement is priced to the sugar in your morning tea. This is not just another rich man's story, it's the story of Nigeria's silent billionaire, the man who quietly challenged the throne. You see, there are two ways to build something powerful in Nigeria. One is with noise, billboards, op-eds, social media, flashy PR, and the other is quietly with grit. Abdul Samad Rabiu chose the latter, and today we are stepping into the story of that one choice. Abdul Samad Rabiu was born in Kano in 1960 into a family already in business, and although nobody handed him gold spoons, his early life was shaped by watching supply chains, warehouses, trucks, the movement of goods, raw materials, oil, and the rest. He saw how small traders scaled, how import licenses were gold, and how connections actually matter. You see, Rabi's journey took him abroad to Capital University, Ohio, where he studied economics. Imagine being a young boy from Kano watching winters, spreadsheets, being taught demand and supply in textbooks instead of the markets. But you see, he came back with currency in his mind, not just currency in US dollars, but currency in ideas. How to run a business that doesn't just trade but controls value. You see, in 1988, Rabi didn't just go into oil or telco, he founded BUA International, trading rice, sugar, and iron rods. You see, it wasn't flashy, but it built its credibility. He stockpiled reputation in reliability. Where others missed supply, BUA delivered. Where others inflated prices, he kept margins thin and consistent. That right there is a style. And by the early 2000s, Rabi saw what many traders missed, that Nigeria would need its own factories, not just imports. He started investing in manufacturing, mills, refineries. You see, the idea was simple: control more of the chain and lessen dependence on importers, and thereby finally reduce costs. And though most people still saw traders, but Rabi was quietly repositioning BUA to become industrial, not just commercial. And you see, in every success story, something usually shifts. For Rabi, it was when he committed to owning factories, not just selling their products. BUA's refinery, BUA's flour mill. Each facility was a statement: no more middleman. Around 2015 to 2017, people started noticing this trader from Kano wasn't just trading anymore, he was building. You know, business is serious when you stop selling flour and start selling concrete. BUA acquired the old cement company of northern Nigeria, CCNN, and built the massive new cement plant in Obu, Opela, Edo State. The Obu plant, inaugurated around 2018 to 2019, boosted BUA cement production capacity significantly. You see, this move transformed Rabiu into a heavyweight in the Nigerian cement game. But Rabiu didn't just stop at cement. Remember, people still need food. He still doubled down on sugar, flour, and edible oils. All of these things your mother complains are priced as gold. BUA refineries, BUA flour mills didn't just become suppliers, they became brands. But you see, by doing so, Rabi was building an empire that touches two everyday lives: the cement your house is built with and the sugar in your tea. But you see, that's the strategy: make your business part of life so fully that it becomes almost unavoidable. Meanwhile, Dangote Cement remained the giant, but BUA was closing the gap and not just whispering behind his back. And of course, where there's growth, there are challenges: power issues, raw material costs, foreign exchange fluctuations, and BUA had to navigate all of these things. It wasn't smooth, but it did break the momentum. So the rivalry between Rabiu and Dangote isn't just business, it's almost a national sport. So by 2020, Rabiu was not just the quiet rich guy, he was an industrial giant. He had cement, sugar, flour, refining, and the infrastructure to keep building. And sure, Dangote still third, but for the first time, people actually stopped assuming Rabi was playing second fiddle. He was turning his strings for a duel. In a continent where power often shouts, Abdul Samad Rabiu whispers and still gets heard. And he built it up by showing up quietly and relentlessly until factories replaced fields and skylines replaced silence. But you see, behind every fortune lies a very important question: what is the cost? That same cement that built cities also paved over stories. The sugar that sweetened our tea may have soured the dreams of others. Rabiu has in many interviews highlighted social corporate responsibilities, BUA foundations, scholarships, local infrastructure. But critics ask, does philanthropy erase environmental disruption? You see, Rabiu's journey is more than business. It's a mirror of our hunger, of our hustle, of our obsession with becoming more than the world expects of us. From one man's quiet empire comes a louder lesson. Wealth isn't about who shouts the most, sometimes it's just about who keeps building. This is the Untold. If this story opened your eyes, don't just scroll, share it, because Africa's stories deserve to be told by us and for us. See you next time.